Unit is about noise in analog communication systems, or otherwise the effect of noise in analog communication systems. So till now we have studied all modulation techniques. What we have studied? All modulation techniques. What are they? We have studied AM techniques, amplitude modulation. How many types? So let me write here. We have studied AM, something like amplitude modulation. So we have studied about DSB AM, isn't it? Next we have studied DSB SC. Next we studied SSB, single sideband modulation. Next we have studied VSB, vestigial sideband modulation. So next, what about next? Angle modulation. We have studied about FM and PM. Okay. Now, so in this study, we did not consider the effect of noise. Okay. What you have seen? We just seen. So we are modulating in the transmitter. We are modulating. We are transmitting over a channel and we are receiving. Okay. So we have seen how to modulate and how to demodulate. Okay. But what happens generally? So when you transmit anything, suppose you're transmitting a signal. After modulation, you're transmitting. So over a channel. Now the channel will add some noise. Suppose you're transmitting X of t through the channel. So the channel is adding some noise. Okay, we call N of t. What you actually receive is, what do you receive actually? R of t. That is equal to your original signal X of t plus some noise. So this is a noise. What is noise? Is an unwanted signal or is a kind of disturbance. Okay. Now, so this noise will be generally random in nature. It is something like random process. Okay. So that's why we model this noise as a random process. Okay. And here, so now this noise is simply additive white Gaussian noise, AGGN noise. We call it as a AGGN noise, additive. Why? Because it is adding to the original transmitted signal X of t. Okay, it is additive in nature. White. Why it's called white? Because it affects all frequencies uniformly. Okay, I will explain little bit later. Gaussian noise, because it follows Gaussian distribution. This noise follows Gaussian distribution. Why it follows Gaussian distribution? Okay, so let us see one by one. That is about effect of noise in analog communication. Now we'll study how this noise will affect our system. Okay, so actually, what is the ideal system should be? Suppose you take a communication system, you're transmitting something, you're transmitting over a channel, you're transmitting M of t, let us take. So at the receiver side, what you should receive? Exactly M of t. That is a basic motto of any communication system. What is that? If I'm sending M of t, I should receive exactly M of t at the receiver side. If not, there is a problem. Okay. So, but our aim is to receive the replica of M of t at the output of the receiver. So we should design receiver so that it will extract or it will receive exactly M of t that is being transmitted. But so generally it is not exactly M of t. It is something like approximately equal to m of t. Otherwise, let me write like this, m tilde of t. What you receive is m tilde of t. That is approximately equal to m of t. It may not be exactly same. Why? The reason is, in this process of transmission through the channel, it will add some noise. So because of this noise, the receiver output may not be exactly m of t, but we'll try to make it as close to as m of t. Am I okay with this? Correct? So because of noise, we get so many problems. Okay. So why? Because this receiver will be having both signals, your m of t signal as well as plus noise signal. So the basic aim of this receiver is to remove this noise. You have to remove this noise. You have to get only m of t. Okay. So the job of the receiver is very, very crucial. It is not only demodulating, it is also removing noise. Okay. So please understand this very, very carefully. So the receiver here, you don't simply think about demodulator, no? This receiver. Obviously, demodulator is a part of receiver. Apart from demodulator, we have so many things in the receiver. So what it receives? It receives your original modulated signal x of t plus some noise. The receiver has to demodulate, obviously, as well as you have to remove the noise. And it should give you output exactly same as your message signal. So the job of the receiver is to remove the noise as well as demodulation. So removing noise is very, very difficult because this noise is random. Okay, and not only that, it is omnipresent. Noise is everywhere. It is omnipresent. It is everywhere. You cannot avoid noise. It will be there. Okay, in every communication system, you get a noise. So who will give noise? Noise is not because of just channel. Okay, generally we blame channel for noise production. So we are using in the transmitter, the receiver, we are using so many devices. Correct? Devices like, so these devices also produce some kind of noise. So noise is because of transmission, because of transmitter as well as receiver as well as channel. All will contribute to the noise. Not only channel, you get noise from transmitter as well as receiver, because they contain some devices which will give some kind of noise. We call thermal noise. Call it as a thermal noise. Okay. Anyway, so but we blame the channel for noise. Okay, but it is also true that the most of the noise is because of the channel. Okay. Now, so we don't say what is the noise. We simply say it is because of channel. Okay, we call it as n of t, which is a random in nature as well as it is Gaussian distributed. Now, before that, as I told you, for the second unit onwards, we need a concept of what? Probability. Is it okay? So that's why I requested you to go through the basics of probability before starting the second unit. Okay, so let me briefly brush up your concepts. What is wide sense stationary random process? A random process whose mean is constant. If x of t is a random process, expectation of x of t is mu x, that is a constant. It is stationary in mean. And not only that, the auto correlation function must be a function of tau. What is tau? It is a time difference or time shift. Autocorrelation is not a function of time instances. Instead, it is a function of shift, tau. So any process which satisfies these two conditions is said to be a stationary. Now, in that case, what is the autocorrelation function? That is x of tau, x of t plus tau. So one more thing I want to tell you. Suppose expectation of x can also be written as x bar. If I say bar means expectation. Okay. So if I say x of tau, x of t plus tau bar means what I'm referring to? I'm referring to expectation of x of tau and x of t plus tau. Okay. Yeah. So what is the power spectral density? Power spectral density. I discussed all these things in the last semester only. It is denoted with x, s of x, x of f. How it is related to this autocorrelation function? They are Fourier transform pairs. Okay. So autocorrelation and PSD are Fourier transform pairs. Now this is the what is PSD? This is inverse Fourier transform of autocorrelation. What is sorry? This is a Fourier transform of autocorrelation. What is a PSD? Obviously, this is on the frequency domain. No, so PSD is Fourier transform of ACF. Now these are some properties of PSD. Okay, it is always positive, real quantity, it is symmetric. And what is RXS of 0? What is RXS of 0? So ACF at tau equal to 0 is nothing but x of t, sorry, x of tau expectation of, sorry, let me write this, expectation of x of t whole square. Here, did I make any mistake? This is t. Okay, right. So simply what is this RXX of 0? Is nothing but x of t whole square bar. So what is this actually? X of t whole square bar means what? Mean square value or second moment. This second moment, no? Mean square value. So mean square value is nothing but power. What is this? It represents power. Which means, so this gives you power. What is Rx of 0 actually? It is area under power spectral density. So if you take area under PSD, obviously you get what? This is nothing but power. So transmission of double aces random process through LTI system. So what a conclusion? So if you transmit, suppose you have a system, LTI system with impulse response h of t. If input is x of t, let me take, this is the double aces, which means y is then stationary. What about output y of t? It is also double aces. If the input process is double aces, output is also double aces. If it is LTI system. What is the output? Y of t? See, remember, y of t is a random process. Don't think that y of t equal to x of t convolution h of t. I mean, what is a ACF of output? That means, so let me write ACF of output is what? How to find out? Autocorrelation of y of t. How to find out this? So what is Rxx of y? What is that? Rxx of x convolution h of t convolution h of minus tau. So the last one also you must remember. Yeah, so this is very, very important. The last thing is, what is that? PSD. You take a system, okay, LTI system. I told you these things already, I'm just briefing them. H of t. So whose Fourier transform is h of f. So we have a PSD at the input side. PSD at the input side. What is the PSD at the output side? What is that? The output PSD is equal to input PSD into mod h of f whole square. This is very, very, very important. Keep it stars. Okay. Yeah. So white. What is the white? So a random process is called white. If it is wide distance stationary as well as the ACF should be what? N0 by 2 delta of tau. It should be like this. So this is the autocorrelation of white process. It should be N0 by 2 delta of tau. This is Rxx of tau. It should be the autocorrelation function should be impulse N0 by 2 delta tau. Impulse with a amplitude N0 by 2. So in some textbook they will write not only N0 by, they also mention eta by 2. It's not N, this is eta by 2. Eta by 2 delta of tau. So we follow this notation. Both are all right, but we follow this notation. What notation? Not N0 by 2. We write here this as, what I write? This is eta by 2 delta of tau. We follow eta by 2 notation. Okay. Now obviously this is ACF. You take the Fourier transform of this. What is Fourier transform of delta of tau? It is 1. So what do you get? This is the PSD of the white noise. How it is this? It is N0 by 2 for all frequencies from minus infinity to plus infinity. N0 by 2, obviously we write here eta by 2. It is eta by 2 for all frequencies. So it is called white noise because it is treating all frequencies equally. It does not discriminate frequencies. Frequency can be 2, frequency can be anything. It can be 2 or 3, it can be anything. The effect of noise is same on all frequencies. That's what it's called white. Okay. So this is the PSD of a white noise, which is a constant with a amplitude N0 by 2 or eta by 2 over all frequencies. Mathematical, what do you write? It is eta by 2 minus infinity less than f less than infinity. This is the PSD of the white noise. So please remember this. This is very, very important diagram. Okay. Okay. This is a PSD. Yeah. Yeah. Output y of t is x of t plus noise. X of t is a transmitted signal. N of t is a Gaussian noise. Y of t is a received signal. So N of t is called additive in nature. It is white and Gaussian. So that's why the noise is called AWGN noise. So the noise that is affecting our communication system is modeled as AWGN noise. It is additive in nature. It is white and it is following Gaussian process. Okay. So the meaning is very, very clear. Additive, white, Gaussian noise. Okay. Now this is the channel. This is how we model a channel. What do we say? Input to the channel is x of t, that is the transmitted signal, and output is y of t. Now the channel is adding n of t as a noise. This is the channel model. Okay. Now, so let us take a basic system model. Okay. What is this? Basic communication system model. Now, so I will analyze the effect of noise here. Okay. Now, so M of t is there. Okay. We are transmitting using this transmitter. So this is the transmitted power. What is the S of t? Transmitted power. Okay. Where this is a channel. Okay. What happens in the channel? So I am writing channel here actually. Okay. So in the channel, what happens here? Noise N of t will be added. Now this is a receiver. This is a receiver. So what is input to the receiver? Your original signal plus noise. Okay. Now here we have two things. SI, NI. And this input to the receiver, and at the output of the receiver we have two more quantities, S0, N0. What are they? What are they? So let me explain them. Yeah. So S of t is a transmitted power. SI is a signal power at the input of the receiver. At the input of the receiver, what is signal power? SI. Okay. What is NI? Noise power at the input of the receiver. So S0, signal power at the output of the receiver. N0, noise power at the output of the receiver. So this is here, the receiver is very, very important. What important? Receiver. So to the receiver, we have four quantities. Input side, signal power, noise power. Output side, signal power, noise power. Now here, so since it is a basic communication model, here we don't modulate. Are you getting what I'm saying? We don't modulate. We transmit directly. It is only a basic communication system, so in which we don't modulate. I am not modulating the signal. I am just transmitting directly. Let's assume that M of t is being transmitted, and so here. So one more thing, we assume that this transmitter and receiver are simply filters. You assume that this transmitter and receiver are simple low pass filter, ideal low pass filter. You assume them as a ideal low pass filter. Ideal low pass filter with a bandwidth how much? Equal to W. That is a bandwidth of message signal. So here, since we are not modulating, obviously we don't demodulate. So it is a basic model. That's why I'm not using modulation here. They are just filters. And assume that they are just filters, a low pass filter. It is also a low pass filter. Ideal low pass filters. Assume that they are ideal low pass filter with a bandwidth that is same as the bandwidth of message signal W. Okay. Now here, so there is no modulation, there is no demodulation. We are just transmitting directly. So M of t is transmitted. So M of t is transmitted using low pass filter. I mean, pass through low pass filter. Obviously, nothing will happen to it. So at a receiver, what is this? What do you get? At this point, what do you get? You get M of t plus N of t. Input to the receiver is M of t plus N of t. Okay, now let us see what will happen. Yeah, this is the receiver, which is a low pass filter. Transmitter also low pass filter. Now, so let us study these things carefully. So receiver is a low pass filter. Okay, ideal it is ideal. Okay, low pass filter. Now, at the input of the receiver, this is a receiver. What do you have? You have M of t plus N of t. Okay. Now, since M of t is a baseband signal with a bandwidth how much? W. This bandwidth is W. So this low pass filter also having bandwidth W. Same as M of t. Obviously, at the output side, what do you get? M of t will be transmitted without any problem. Okay, M of t you get. Now here, So we had powers SI, NI. Here we have two powers S0, N0. What is SI? Signal power at the input of the receiver. NI, noise power. What is S0, N0? They are signal power, noise power at the output of the receiver. Please understand the difference very, very carefully. Now, at the input side, is the receiver. At the input side, we have two things: signal component plus noise component. Are you getting what I'm saying? So at this point, M of t plus N of t. This is a signal part. This is a signal part. This is a noise part. Now, what is the signal power? SI is nothing but power of M of t. Because M of t is a signal part. N of t is a noise part. Power of M of t, what do you write generally? So, the simplest form we write, let me write like this. So, you will call M square bar. I'm not writing PM, all those things. Let us leave it as M square bar. Okay, so that is SI, signal power. Okay. Now, NI is okay, NI leave it. At the output side, what is the signal? It is also M of t. Okay. So, what about S0? S0 also power of M of t. M of t did not change. Please observe this. Because the receiver is simply an ideal filter, it will not do anything to this M of t. Okay, please observe these things very carefully. It is also M square bar. Now here, the output signal power is same as input signal power. And they are equal to M square bar. What is M square bar definition actually? Expectation of M of t whole square. Which means this is the mean square value. Mean square value is nothing but power. Okay. Now, so that is about S0 Si. Now, here the problem with N of t. We are, one more thing is, we are doing calculation separately. Why? Why it is possible? Because it is, the noise is additive in nature. That's why I can do the calculation separately. Now I will do for noise. Okay, let us analyze the noise. How to analyze the noise? So, yeah, the noise is, this is a receiver, a low pass filter with a bandwidth W, minus W, 0, W. This is the receiver. Now, what do you input to the receiver? M of t plus N of t. Now, we are done with M of t. We have done with M of t. What is N of t? N of t is a what? It is a additive wide Gaussian noise. Now, here what we have to find out at the output of the receiver? N0. What is N0? Noise power. How to get power? Area under PSD. How to get PSD? Here comes the logic. So here, what is the PSD, output PSD? This is the LTI system with, this is LTI system with the frequency response as a low pass filter. Input is a N of t, is a white noise, I mean AWG noise, whose PSD is how much? How it is? It is eta by 2 for all frequencies. What is the output PSD? Correct? This is H of f. What is H of f whole square? It is 1. This amplitude is 1. What is mod H of f whole square? Can you tell me? So this H of f, which is ideal filter, This is h of f. What is the mod of this? Same. What is h of f whole square? Also same. Because its amplitude is 1. It is just like a rectangle. Okay, this mod h of f whole square. Now, what is output PSD? Input PSD, sorry. PSD to the input side into this h of f whole square into h of f whole square, which means we have to multiply what? Input PSD is simply this PSD eta by 2 into h of f whole square. What is that? Minus w 0 to w 1. Multiply these two. What do you get? What do you get? What you get is, you get, it is simply you're multiplying this with a constant eta by 2. That's it. It is just a constant, no? But you remember these things. The output PSD is something like this. Minus w, 0, w, and this is not 1. It is now eta by 2. This is the output PSD. I mean the power spectral density or the output of the receiver. At the output of the receiver, what you have? Output PSD as just now I shown. But here I want to know what is the power? Noise power in naught. What is that? How to get power? Power is nothing but area under this PSD. What is this area? It is rectangle, no? What is area? This is 2w into what? Eta by 2. That is eta into w. This is output noise power. Is it okay? So A naught equal to eta into w. Now here comes the logic. So at the receiver, output side is very, very important. Input side is okay. Output side is very, very important. The receiver, in this case, we are very much worried about these powers. S0 and N0. What are they? Signal power and noise power. Here, so, okay, at the output of the receiver, we got two powers. Okay. Now, what is signal power? S0, I mean, S0 is same as SI is same as the power of M of t, that is M square bar. That is okay. Okay. What is noise power? This is eta into W. What is eta? It is a power spectral density. And I forgot to tell you one more thing. Here, so what is that? Yeah, this is called, this is a power spectral density, but not only that, it is two-sided. It is called two-sided PSD because it is expanded on both sides. Two-sided PSD whose value is N0 by 2 or eta by 2. Okay. Now, so let us go to our discussion. Yeah. So we got two powers at the output of the receiver. Now we'll define something called SNR. It's the ratio of two powers. It is called signal to noise power ratio. What it is called? Signal to noise power ratio. It is called signal power to noise power ratio. Which means it is a ratio of signal power and noise power. Output side. SNR output equal to output signal power by noise power. S naught by N naught. But what is S naught? Is same as SI. What is N naught? Eta W. So here what do we write? So SNR equal to output SNR equal to SNR means signal power to noise power ratio. So what is output signal power? SI, same as input signal power. But what is N naught? Eta into W. So it is called gamma. The notation is called gamma. Okay, so please remember SI by eta W is called gamma. It is a benchmark. Benchmark means we use this for comparison purpose. We use called comparison purpose. It is called baseband SNR. We use this as a benchmark. We use this comparison purpose. Why it's a benchmark? Why? Because see, it's a baseband system. It's a baseband SNR, baseband output SNR. Why? Because I told you here we are not doing any modulation. Here, what is a transmitter receiver? They are simply ideal filters. There is no modulation, there is no demodulation. So I have derived this only for the comparison purpose. We compare every other system to with this system. It's called baseband SNR where there is no modulator. Signal is not being modulated. Okay. Now, so it's a benchmark and we use this as a comparison purpose. Now, so the output SNR is very, very important quantity. This is very, very important. So the quality of the system, the quality of the output will be depend upon this SNR. It should be more or less. The question is, should SNR should be maximum or minimum? Signal power by noise power. Ideally, it should be maximum. We should get maximum SNR, means better quality. So it is simply a relative power. We are just observing what is the signal power and what is the noise power. It's a relative. Okay, why? Because I'm not just saying what is signal power. I'm also comparing with noise power. So it should be maximum. Means what? It should be maximum means what? SNR should be maximum means SNR should be maximum. We try to get as maximum as possible. Okay. Now, so there are methods to increase SNR. What you can do? Either you can increase the signal power, or one more way is decrease the noise power. There are two methods, right? What method is? Either increase signal power or decrease noise power. So if increase signal power, this quantity increases. If decrease noise power also, this quantity increases. The whole quantity is increases in these two cases. But the first one is not advisable. Increasing signal power. Okay. I mean increasing S naught. What happens if increase S naught? Let us go back. So we cannot increase as we wish. Okay, there are limitations. We need to take some things into consideration. Why? Because I want to increase S naught. Obviously, I should increase SI. What is SI? Input power. If you want more output power, you give more input power. But so to increase SI, you have to increase ST. That is transmitter power. Okay. So increasing the transmitter power means what I told you, cost increases. Ultimately, it comes to cost or money. You have to spend more money because you need more power to transmit. Not only that, it creates disturbance to others. Increasing the transmitter power is not always advisable. There are limitations to it. Okay, so to increase SNR, you cannot blindly increase signal power because it's ultimately increases the cost as well as disturbance. Okay, or interference. Now that's why, we can't do much about this first option, that is increasing signal power. Okay, but what we can do? We can remove the noise or decrease the noise power. So we should design our system so that it should give minimum noise, or it should eliminate the effect of noise to the maximum possible extent. Okay, as an engineers, we always try to minimize the effect of noise so that you get maximum SNR. If SNR is maximum, the quality of the output is maximum. The quality is measured by SNR. So in this course, we always measure the quality of the receiver by the quantity known as SNR. Output SNR. Output SNR. Okay. Now, so without wasting much time, so let us go to the noise performance of DSB-SC. Okay. Right. So this is a DSB system completely. Right. Now, what is DSB-SC? Double sideband suppressed carrier. Okay. Now, so in this block diagram, this is a transmitter. This is a channel. Okay. So this is a demodulator. Actually, this is not receiver. This is a demodulator. So let us take this is a receiver. Transmitter, channel, receiver. You take any basic communication system. It must contain a transmitter, receiver, in between a channel. Okay. So how to get DSB-SC? How to demodulate DSB-SC? The demodulation, no? What is this demodulation? Coherent or synchronous demodulator. Okay. How to modulate? This is called product modulator. Okay. Now, so here we are taking M of t, multiplying with the carrier. Here I am taking carrier to be, so something like different, C of t generally, root 2 cos omega ct. So there is a reason why I am taking root 2. I will explain later. Okay. So this is a root 2, that's the amplitude of the carrier. Okay. Now here what do you get? After modulation, what is S of t? DSB-SC signal is what is S of t? S of t is simply multiplying message with carrier, that is root 2 m of t cos omega ct. This is S of t. Okay. Right. One more thing, m of t is having a bandwidth W, is a baseband signal. Okay. After modulation, S of t is what? S of t bandwidth is how much? What is the bandwidth of DSB-SC? Twice the message bandwidth. And not only that, it's a passband signal. It's not baseband, it's a passband signal. Okay, right. So that is about signal part. So in the channel, noise will be added. Okay. Now here, so please observe this very carefully. What happened here? So before demodulator, I have a band pass filter. Please observe this very carefully. Band pass filter. So with a bandwidth 2W, with center frequency FC. Is it okay? Now to the band pass filter, this is before the receiver, before the demodulator, not receiver, demodulator. Okay. Here, what is input? S of t plus N of t. Okay. Is it okay? Now, what is S of t? S of t is a passband signal with a bandwidth 2W. With center frequency how much? FC. What is FC? This is a band pass signal or passband signal with the bandwidth 2W with center frequency at FC. Let us take this ideal band pass filter. Obviously, this S of t will be passed through this filter without any distortion. You could S of t as it is. Okay. N of t. What about N of t? Here I am not doing power calculations as of now. Okay. Here N of t becomes Ni of t. Okay. What is NIFT is called? It's a pass band noise. What is called? Pass band noise or band pass noise. Anything is okay. It's called band pass noise. Now here, so there is one important thing to remember. It can be written in quadrature component. So observe very carefully. It's not eta, it's n actually. So N of t equal to NC of t cos omega ct plus ns of t sin omega ct. It is very, 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 very important. Okay, so what happened here is we are passing this noise n of t through this band pass filter. Later it becomes band pass noise. Why? Because see, n of t is omnipresent. It is everywhere. You get noise. It may be everywhere. But after passing the band pass filter, we consider noise only in this frequency range. From where to where? Fc minus W to Fc plus W. So we are restricting the noise from this infinity range to only in this range. It becomes band pass noise. The noise which is present from Fc minus W to Fc plus W. Okay, otherwise, so let us explain this with another example. What I'm saying is, here is a band pass filter is there. Okay, let me take like this. A band pass filter. Let me take like this. This is Fc. This is Fc plus W. This is, sorry, Fc minus W. This is Fc plus W. If the noise is passed through this filter, we have noise everywhere. Something noise. It is everywhere. But after passing through band pass filter, what do you get? You get noise only in this range. Okay, now the noise will be restricted to certain frequency ranges. What it is called? Band pass noise. Before transmitting through filter, it was everywhere. It is omnipresent. So after this, we are eliminating the noise that is not present outside this band pass filter. Why? Because so we don't bother what is noise at this point or at this point. Why? So we don't bother what is noise before Fc minus W, after Fc plus W. Why we don't bother? Because our original signal itself is a band pass signal from Fc minus W to Fc plus W. Okay, the noise in that range will affect the signal. Suppose we have a noise. Suppose Fc is, let us take 1K. Fc is 1K. Okay, Fc is 1K. A bandwidth is, let us take 10K 1K. Fc is 10K. M of t is 1K. Okay, what happens after modulation? What happens? So Fc minus W to Fc plus W. Our signal will be from where to where? It will be something like this. Fc plus W means 10 plus 1K, 11K, it is 9K. This is the spectrum of our signal. Okay, so here I am not bothered what is noise at this 3K. At the same time, I don't want to know what is noise at this 20K. Because at 3K, 20K, I don't have my signal. My signal is from where to where? 9K to 11K. I must be worried about the noise which is present from 9K to 11K. Because in this range, I am transmitting my signal. I try to minimize the noise in this range only. So why should I worry about noise at 3K and 9K? At those ranges, I am not transmitting any my signal. Okay. Right. So now, so this is how we represent. I mean, this is very, very important. This is a band pass noise can be written as NC of t, NS of t. They are called quadrature components. So NI of t is band pass, but these two are low pass. Please remember this. So if time permits, I will derive this also. So you must remember this. Ni of t equal to Nc of t cos omega ct plus Ns of t sin omega ct. Not only that, they have equal powers. Three quantities are there now. Okay, let me write here. Ni of t equal to Nc of t cos omega ct plus Ns of t sin omega ct. So we have three components: Ni, Nc of t, Ns of t. All will have same power. If I write like this means Ns square bar same as Nc square bar same as Ns square bar. This represents power, no? They are equal power, that is equal to 2 eta omega. You must remember this. Very, very, very important. Okay. Now, so let us go back to the discussion. So, yeah. So, output of band pass filter is S of t plus Ni of t. Okay. So, what is S of t? What is Ni of t? Let me write here. Ni of t I have written. So, let me write here. After this band pass filter, we got signal as S of t plus noise is Ni of t. Now, this is combinedly called as Yi of t. This is combinedly called as Yi of t. What is Yi of t? The Yi of t is same as S of t plus Ni of t. This is a band pass noise. It is a band pass signal. I mean modulated signal. What is S of t? It is just DSBS signal, that is root 2 m of t cos omega ct. Okay. Plus what is Ni of t? That is Nc of t cos omega ct plus what? Ns of t sin omega ct. So this is input to the demodulator. What demodulator? Synchronous or coherent demodulator. So again, obviously synchronous means we have to use same local carrier. This incoming carrier, it's called local carrier. Root 2 cos 2 pi fct. You multiply, what do you get? This is Yi of t. Signal component, noise component. Okay. What is output signal? You do this calculation. Will you do it? So this is a synchronous demodulator or coherent demodulator. Input is Yi of t. What is the output? Y naught of t. With a carrier. What is a carrier? Root 2 cos omega ct. What output you find out? I leave it as a exercise. So now not only that, here what you can do is, this is a signal component, this is a noise component. Okay. Now, so what do you get? Do the calculation, you get like this: m of t plus nc of t by root 2. What calculations, sir? Simple calculations only. You have to multiply this phi of t with again root 2 cos omega ct. Okay. So output of the demodulator here. What you get is m of t is nc of t by root 2. Is it okay? Now, this is a signal component. I'm not doing calculations, okay? You do it calculations. This is signal. This is noise. So at output side, you got noise. Ideally, noise should be 0. You only get m of t. You should only get m of t, ideally. But what is happening? You're getting noise component also. Okay? But we have to verify what is the power of signal power, what is noise power. So what is signal power? S naught equal to power of m of t, that is m square bar. Okay? What is noise power? N naught. What is noise power? Can you tell me? Will tell me the answer. Okay, tell me the noise power. I will leave it to you. What is noise power? NC of t is a signal. It is divided by root 2. So in the power, what happens? Suppose ax of t is there. How to find power? A square into power of x of t. In the same way, what happened? So since it is 1 by root 2, it becomes 1 by 2, square of that. 1 by 2 into power of nc, that is nc square bar. What is this? Power in nc of t. As I told you, what is the power in nc of t? Power in ni, nc, ns. Same. That is 2 eta w. Substitute here. What do you get? 1 by 2 into 2 eta w. 2 to cancel eta w. Eta w. So signal power equal to power of message signal. So noise power equal to eta w. At output of the demodulator or receiver. But okay, before that, what is the input signal power? Which means input signal power. Why I of t is input to the demodulator? In this, S of t is a signal, this is a noise. What is the power of S of t? Which means what is the power of root 2 m of t cos omega ct? Can you tell me? Who will tell me the answer? Tell me what is the power of root 2 m of t cos omega ct? You've done this kind of discussion already. Can you tell me the power of root 2 m of t cos omega ct? Okay, so message me the power of this signal. I want to know the power of root 2 m of t cos omega ct. Here, fc is much more than the bandwidth of message signal. Now, then what is the power of root 2 m of t cos omega? Message it now. I want to know the answer. I'm asking what is the power of root 2 m of t cos omega ct. This is SI, the power of the signal power at input side of the receiver. Who will tell me the answer? I want to know the power of root 2 m of t cos omega ct. I have done this kind of calculation already. What do? You assume that m of t is a constant relative to the cos omega ct, because cos omega ct varies very fastly compared to m of t. Now, root 2 m of t is nothing but it's something like amplitude of cos omega ct. Then what happens? So suppose a cos omega ct. What is the power of a cos omega ct? A square by 2. So in place of a, I have root 2 m of t. So obviously, what is the power of signal power at input side? SI. That is, what is that? 2m square bar by 2. That is m square bar. Okay. So here what happened? Output signal power is same as input signal power, that is same as power of m of t. Or m square bar. So now why I'm getting like this? I'm getting like this because I have done something. What is that? I have taken root 2 here. Because of this root 2, you are getting something like that. Otherwise, it is not possible. So it is something like normalization. Okay. So I'm multiplying with root 2 here. Here also root 2. That's why SI, S naught are same. And that equal to m square bar. If you just keep 1 year, you don't get something like that. It changes. It may change. Okay. So the purpose of using this root 2 is to get this condition. This condition is very, very important. Okay. Because when you want to compare two quantities, SNRs, you must keep same signal power. Okay. Now, what is output SNR in this case? We'll tell the answer. What is S naught by N naught? S naught is same as Si. N naught is same as eta omega. That is same as gamma. What is gamma? Is a baseband SNR. So here the DSBSC, the performance of DSBSC is up to the mark. Why can I say? How can I say like this? Because it is exactly same as the benchmark. What a benchmark? I have discussed a baseband system, basic system without any modulation. Here, what is our SNR output? S naught by naught equal to Si by eta omega. Si by eta omega is called gamma. S naught equal to Si equal to m square bar, which means it is exactly same as the baseband SNR. Gamma. So I told you we use this gamma for comparison purpose. Okay. Now we are comparing DSBSC with the baseband system. Okay, it is exactly same as baseband system. So the noise performance of DSBSC is exactly same as the benchmark baseband system. Is it okay? Anyway, so that is about noise performance of DSBSC. Its SNR is gamma. What is gamma? Si by eta omega. But remember, what is SI? Signal power, input signal power. It is same as power of message signal. Okay. Or it can also write m square bar by eta omega. It is also correct. So this is about noise analysis. Okay, right. All right, we stop here. If any doubts, you can ask me. Thank you.